So last night, Mary Jane wanted some ice cream. Really, quote, really good ice cream. And night went on. I mean, we had talked about getting ice cream. But the night went on and on and on. And eventually it came time to go to bed. And it was about 9 o'clock. And she said, I still don't have my ice cream. So I asked her, I said, okay, so what does constitute really good ice cream? And she's like, I really want some marble slab or some Cold Stone. She even referred to City Girl. I said, well, City Girl is frozen yogurt. She said, oh yeah, that's not good ice cream. So she said, I'd even settle for a pint of Haagen-Dazs from the store. And you can buy just a little container of Haagen-Dazs. And so I said, okay, I'll run to the store real quick. About 9:15. The store doesn't. It was about 9:15. The store doesn't close till 10. So I ran to the store and I said, what flavor do you want? I said, well, just call me when you get there and tell me what they have. All right. So I get to the store, and upon approaching the ice cream aisle, I see an electric roaster, like a warming tray kind of deal. And it's got a note on it. It's set off in the corner. It's not something the store typically sells. It's just a grocery store. They have like food items and basic toiletries and really minimal. It's no Walmart by any means. Just a local grocery store. And so this roasting pan is out of place because the store doesn't sell appliances, but it's set, kind of out in the open. And it's next to the bakery/deli area. And on this pan is a note that's expressing that the roasting pan or roaster is no longer functioning the way it's supposed to. The note said, "This don't work." Which in itself is grammatically incorrect. And I tried, folks, so hard to walk past it. But I actually had to turn around and go and snap a picture and put it on Snapchat of the atrocity that this note was exhibiting. This don't work. Well, first of all, just let your manager or boss or owner or whoever know that it's not functioning the way it should. Don't set it aside with a note on it, and especially not a note that's grammatically incorrect. But that is not the topic that I want to discuss right now. I want to talk about, lecture on the fact that the word don't was missing an apostrophe. So technically that note said, "This don't work." And I don't know what that means. It means nothing, is what it means. And if this were the only case that I'd run into this week that were like this, then I might be able to move on. But nay, I share with you now another misusage of apostrophe, and it's not a leaving out. No. It's an adding in. I'm sure you're aware, if you're any kind of social media user, that Facebook has a function within it in which you can sell items. The marketplace, the Facebook marketplace, you can sell items, local items, to local people, and you can price them, and folks can comment and express interest in purchasing your item. Well, there was an advertisement on Facebook 2 days ago. Somebody selling some video games and DVDs and Blu-ray discs. And they said games for sale, $15 each. DVDs or movies for $5 each. So All well and good. Slightly overpriced for secondhand, especially DVDs, because you can pick those up at garage sales and even disc replay for less than $3. But I digress. No, the issue here was games. GAME''S. That means one of two things. Something belongs to the game, or the game is. That's what it means. Those are the only two things that GAME''S means. And by putting the $15 below it, you're saying the game is $15. Game's $15. One game is $15. Or you're saying the $15 belongs to the game, which I could actually believe, because later on in the description, this was just a picture of a note on top of the actual cases of games. The description of the items said games were $10, so maybe the $15 did belong to the game. I don't know. This is the game's $15. It could very well have been. But later on below that, the word movies, $5. MOVIE, you guessed it, apostrophe S. Again, movie is. One movie is $5. Very well could be. I can't deny that, but they had a stack of probably about 8 to 12 movies. So I have a hard time believing that they're only trying to sell one of them. If they are, it's a poor marketing choice. Or two, the $5 belongs to the movie. It is that movie's $5. The usage of apostrophes is grossly misunderstood / mistaken / anything else you want to throw in that says wrong. People are not using apostrophes correctly, or at all, in this day and age. If you're trying to say the plural of something, this is literally the lesson that I am teaching my 9 and 10-year-old students in my classroom this week. If you want to make something plural, add an S, unless it is a word that ends with a consonant and a Y. Then that Y changes to I and you add ES. There are also a couple of other suggestions. You can add ES to a word that already ends in an S, an X, a CH, or an SH. That's when you can add an ES. Otherwise, you form the plural of a word by adding S. Not apostrophe S, not S apostrophe, just S. There are some irregular plurals, like the word child, for example, turns into children. The word man turns into men. The word woman turns into women. Those are what we call irregular plurals, in which no S is necessary. But if you're trying to form the plural of a regular noun that does not end in Y, or a consonant in a Y, or already have an S, X, CH, or SH on it, just add an S. There's your language arts lesson for the day. Additionally, contractions. Contractions have apostrophes. Will not becomes won't, WON apostrophe T. Does not becomes doesn't, not don't. Don't means do not. So by saying this don't work, you're saying this do not work. That doesn't make sense. That doesn't flow. That is not a grammatically correct sentence. Should not becomes shouldn't. SHOULDN apostrophe T. If you're feeling really fancy, you can put shan't, which I think technically means will not in the oldie English. But I don't teach ye olde English. I teach the current English. And believe me, in the community in which I teach, the current English is still hard to understand. I'd love to let you read some of the emails that I get, not only from parents, from colleagues, from other industry professionals, that misuse all the rules of grammar. And these folks are in charge of teaching the same students I'm teaching, either before or after me. Ay, ay, ay. It's a very select few, I will admit. And sometimes it's just an honest mistake. Maybe those people need to install the Grammarly application. See a previous video for my thoughts on that. Previous or former? That'll be one we'll talk about. Previous versus former. Interesting. And if you don't think so, then you have some Googling to do. I'll see you tomorrow morning.